very first speaker is someone that I have just come to love and look forward to seeing every Saturday morning when she comes in. I am not going to tell you a thing more about her because she is going to tell you herself. I'd like you to meet Sabine Miller, and here's her story.
Hi everybody, I'm Sabine Miller. I'm 48 years old, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my Weight Watchers journey. I made this poster board, so I think probably the best thing to do is maybe just go ahead and pass it around. I have to ask you guys, do you ever feel like you are stuck in a body that you don't want to be in? And I'm sure probably some of us have that answer already. That's kind of how I felt from the beginning until now, because I wasn't always heavy. Growing up, I was a small child. They used to call me Beanhole, nickname. And then growing up, I started gaining, was fairly thin, and at that point, I always thought I was overweight. Well, you know how that goes. Tried numerous diets, Nutrisystem, Jenny Craig. Oh yeah, they work. Great. Lost 25 pounds. But they don't teach you how to eat afterwards. So, lo and behold, I probably had screwed up my metabolism at that point, and I gained it all back, plus some. So, starting probably, these first pictures I've dated, 1996, 99, 2000, you can start to see there is a little bit of excess weight there. I thought the goat was much cuter than I was, so yeah. This was actually taken in Germany. So, I didn't think much about it because I thought, well, I'm getting older, I'm just adding a few extra pounds. But next thing you know, we're in the year 2000 plus, and wow, you can see it. I got married to an absolutely wonderful man who married me for me. Didn't care how heavy I was at the time. Didn't know me before. Didn't know me when I was thin. Didn't care. We got married in 2004, and I had to have been at that point probably over 270 to 80. Don't know because I didn't weigh myself. But at that point, it was a happy day. It didn't matter how heavy I was at that point. It was a beautiful day, and it didn't matter what I looked like to me. After that, you can start you start to see, you start to feel, my clothes are uncomfortable, I feel disgusting, I feel, all the normal feelings of what goes along with gaining plus 100 pounds. At that point, I didn't know how much I really weighed until, 2005, you can see it, 2006. My friend's baby was born in 2006, and I was like, whoa, that's excessive. We went to Cancun. I was disgusted at the pictures. I didn't even want to be in half the pictures, and I was starting to feel really, really self-conscious. 2006, I decided to, with the help of a couple of my other friends, they had joined Weight Watchers, and they were very pleased with the program at the time. Points, and I said, okay, well, what's points all about? And they explained it to me, and they were very, oh, this really, really works. I've lost 10 pounds already. Okay. So I didn't join right away. I kind of piggybacked off of them. They kind of told me how many points I needed. I kind of went along with their gut recommendations and guidelines, and then I said, I have to do something else. I can't do this on my own. So, at that time, I was working for a government contractor, and there was a at-work program. And I said, I'm doing this. I don't care. You guys are joining me. I'm doing this for me. And my husband has always been incredibly supportive, and so have all my friends. So, on April, sorry, I'm a little nervous. On April 12, 2006, I joined Weight Watchers at work program, and I was amazed. of how great I felt. Just the first couple months. It was just unreal. I lost my first, see here, where am I? Sorry. I lost my first 50 pounds actually by that November. And I was on a roll. Then I started getting a little complacent. I never stopped going to meetings. I never stopped doing the program. But I kind of did my own little things here and there. Never stopped tracking. So it took me a good while, and then Christmas time comes around. Christmas time sometimes is very hard for all of us, holidays with our family members, cookies and cakes at work, people doing cookies exchanges. And so it took me another 6 months until I lost the next 10 pounds because I kept sliding back and forth and back and forth. And there are several people here that have seen me go back and forth for a while, and it got very frustrating, and at times I wanted to quit, but I never did. So I had to make some goals for myself, and I'd always wanted to start running. Even when I was younger, I was never a huge athlete, but I was, I would exercise, I would go to the gym. So I decided to do my first 5K in 2007, called the Turkey Trot. I'm sure as many of you have heard of it. Thanksgiving they do them. So that was my first one, and it was fun. I liked it. And I liked it so much that I'm continually running now. I've done several 5Ks. I think the longest that I've run is 11 miles on my own. I'm biking, exercising like crazy. So after the first Turkey Trot, I think that things started moving back along. And by the year 2000, I was finally out of the 200s. And that was huge, to get below what they call Wonderland, or get into Wonderland. 8 years later, in 2000, from the beginning of when I was, starting to gain weight, 2000, 2012, that's 12 years. I decided to start trying on this is actually 2012, I decided to try on my wedding dress again. And yeah, just a little bit of extra material there. Taken some pictures here with some of the ladies of my Saturday morning group that were here for me throughout all of this. And also here from when I hit goal, finally, 100.8 exact. I hit on October 20th, 2012, and that's when I finally made Lifetime. And it's been an amazing journey. And there are days where when I look at these pictures, I still think of me that way. So even when I was heavy, I never really, when I looked in the mirror, I always thought I was thin still. So it's definitely been a long journey. So when people say, it took me a year to lose 100 pounds, I'm like, wow, it took me. But I think for me, it was more of learning the program for that long, so it finally stuck. I'll never be fixed. I keep thinking to myself, oh, okay, well, I don't have to track anymore now. I don't have to go to meetings anymore. Yeah, I still do. And I will continue to do so because that's who I am now. That's my life. And I can't imagine it any other way now because I feel like the thin me again. And I feel like that's, like they say, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. And it's absolutely right. And when I think about the diets that we used to go on, I was just talking to my friend Debbie, and I said, please step it back then because we never learned anything after that. Some people can do it on their own, I just couldn't. And it's just something that I'm going to continue to do. And I have my good days and I have my bad days, you know. Over Christmas this past year, I didn't stay below goal. I didn't stay at goal. I gained almost 10 pounds. So, you know, it's not like I'm gonna be perfect for the rest of my life. So I went up, but as of today, I'm almost back at goal. I lost 2.8 this morning, actually. So it's just an everyday process, every day. So you want to pass that around? And if you have any questions? I know for me that the best thing is the best thing for me is I plan. From day one, I've always been a big planner. I have to know what I'm going to eat the next day. I have to be able to, I track my food for the next day, the day before. I have the great app on my phone. I do e-tools. Sunday comes around, I bag up, you know, I cut up I buy a lot of mango. I love mango. I cut up mango, I put it in little individual containers. I'll buy, you know, massive amounts of grapes. My husband thinks that we have another person living in the house because he doesn't understand who eats all the fruit. And I bag them up in individual bags. I make snacks in individual bags. So all I have to do in that next morning before I go to work is just grab it, put it in my lunch bag, and go. I don't have to think about it. Only thing then I have to think about is going to work and being sidetracked and thrown off by something that ends up in our work kitchen. So exercise almost daily. I run, I bike, walk, I do all kinds of other DVDs, tapes, anything like that. But the tracking and the planning to me is the most important thing. And without that, I feel completely out of control. Like when I go on vacation, I get scared. Because it's hard to count when you go out to dinner. So I've kind of I've gotten a little more, you know, relaxed when I go on vacation. Not as far as, you know, completely going overboard, but I'm okay with gaining a little bit. I'm okay with, you know, having a couple glasses of wine or a beer with dinner, because I know that I'm gonna go right back on it when I get home. So it's, you know that you had your vacation, you come home, boom, you're right back on it. And that's how I, you know, manage to take care of that.
Question for you about weekends, how you manage weekends. Are you as disciplined on the weekend as you are during the weekend?
When I go shopping, well, Saturday mornings is my meeting. Saturday after the meetings, I usually do my grocery shopping. Come home, either I exercise or walk my dog. Saturdays or Sunday nights is usually our night out to dinner. Friday nights, I told my husband, you go on your own, babe. I'm sorry, it's been like that. He's a firefighter, so he used to volunteer on Friday nights, so that was perfect for me. I didn't have to, you know, cook anything. Now he's home, what do we have, eggs again? He knows now, so he's completely supportive. But I have my extra 49 points. I have this lovely little tool right here that I'm not going to show everybody. The Active Link, which is here somewhere.
Back here now.
And that kind of takes the guessing game out of the exercise points. It's, you know, it's a perfect tool to figure out, because I was underestimating what my activity points were on a daily basis. So as of last night, I had earned 54 exercise points, activity points. So with those activity points, then I know I can have a little bit of more of a night out on Saturday or Sunday, depending on what's going on, like if we have a dinner. I'm still fairly disciplined, not like, you know, regimented. Like last weekend we went out to dinner, Carrabba's. I thought I was making a fairly good choice. I had the salmon, we had some mussels, I didn't have the bread, we shared a dessert, bread pudding, that was enough, and I had a glass of wine. And it ended up being almost every single one of my extra points because of the extra sauces that are in there that you don't think about. day comes around, and, I have days where I eat 3 or 4 bags of the little potato chips. But then I try to offset it by exercise or more water, or I try not to limit myself. I try not to be so strict, because I know that if I do that, then I'm gonna fail. Does that answer a little bit? I mean, it's not 100%, but I try to live.
All right, Janet.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Good job. Thank you.